disability because it's just so negative, and I really feel that we have so much that we can focus on the positive to help us, okay? Me, for example, and you know, last time we were here, we met that gentleman that came to the first meeting, and he was 40-something, and he was just now coming to, you know, meet CMT for the first time face-to-face.
Lane Sternberg.
Yes, Lane. And so in here I was, you know, from birth with challenges, and by 12 we kind of figured out what I was, and from me we went back and diagnosed my aunts, because my mother's side of the family is Irish Catholic, and there was 11 of them. So they called it McCallion feet, and here are 2 McCallions with the feet. And once I got my diagnosis, everybody in the family got on the phone and was like, hey, guess what? We got something. It's called CMT. No, it's not the country music television. This is, you know, there's an actual legitimate thing. We're not just clumsy and, you know, so anyway, this is how it's affected us. Well, one of the things I was fortunate is that I was young when the Let's Get Physical thing started, and so I was kind of raised with trying to do exercise and do different things to compensate myself. And every time I had sprained an ankle or done anything like that, I found that my back would hurt. Because at 12, my diagnosis was I went to the orthopedic because my back was hurting. Well, I had been sedentary for months prior from burst appendix. And so, and then 2 months later, I ended up with a small bowel obstruction. Whatever. The reason, I was out. At 12 years old, I was kind of out of, just living a very sedentary life for about 4 months. And not moving and doing a lot really made my back start to hurt. And that was when I went to the orthopedic. And for 5 seconds, she went, yeah, your back is, yeah, you've got a curvature, you know, join half the population of the world, you know. Let me look at your feet, you know, and she was so interested in my feet. And we were like, really? And that's how we got the diagnosis. But when I got back, you know, to being a kid and doing most of the things that I could do, I realized my back felt better. And I started going to jazzercise with my mom. And I started doing different things. I met my husband, Lee, when I was a teenager. And he was teaching me weightlifting and showing me some things I could do. And lo and behold, the more I did to strengthen the muscles down my spine and around my back and around my legs, wow, I found that I was a little more empowered, and that doing daily living skills, daily living tasks were a lot easier for me. Okay, so I want to talk about today, I'm kind of like all over the place, and I hope you guys can see me. I'm going to write some things down. If you want to write these things down, this is just on Facebook, my wellness page. Oh, so anyway, I was working out at the gym like a freak for the past, I don't know how many years, just to help myself be well and be ambulatory, because I love my family and I want to be ambulatory as long as I can. And so my friend said to me, you know, she's a trainer, and she said, you know more than me. You're here more than me, and you're dedicated more than me. And I said, yeah, and I'm motivated more than you. You know, who's not in this room motivated to be well and healthy and keep ourselves ambulatory? You know, we have to be. And so she said, you need to become a personal trainer because you can. And I said, no. And I had this self-talk, negative self-talk that I can't do this because there's something wrong with me. What good would I have to offer other people? But truthfully, you know, nobody's perfect, and everybody has challenges. And when you look at it that way, you realize, okay, I had the confidence, and I was just being negative self-talking, and I said, I'm going to do this. And sure enough, I fell into that, and then I fell into the world of wellness, and I'm a wellness coach at a doctor's office. I got into weight loss classes, and so that's kind of how I picked up all this information and kind of taken it with me. And hopefully, I have a heart for people that have disabilities and challenges. I have a heart for us that live in pain all the time and that are sick and tired, because we're always sick and tired. And we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we can help ourselves. And we have a choice to be a victim, and we have a choice to be a champion. And we can let these things be an excuse for us, or we can let these things motivate us, and be an inspiration to others. So I want to talk about, here's my website. On Facebook, there's my page. I just post little blobs every day. Motivational, maybe something about health or wellness, certain vitamins, things that are working. If you're on Facebook, cool, friend me, and you can, ask me questions this way. I met a girl here named Tracy last month that said her sister was a runner with CMT and an athlete, and she does a triathlon. I don't know if you heard Tracy talking about her. I was like, really? I friended this lady, CMTA Athletes. She has this website. I'm not an athlete, and I don't care if you're not an athlete. You want to get motivated? Friend this girl on CMT Athletes.
And that girl, by the way, is going to be at our next meeting.
She is unbelievable. Well, not only her, but all the people that write in. And one of the top, I wrote in, hey, what sneakers are working for everybody? 39 comments later, I had everybody talking about, well, this shoe works for us because this and that, and I can fit my orthotic in it. So, really interesting page, even if you're not an athlete, just to get on and see what other people are doing with what they have. Amazing, amazing. Now, obviously, we're all in different places. So, the idea of me, even walking through Kmart without holding onto the cart is tough. So, to think of that someone else can be running, sure, we're at a different level. But very interesting and very motivating to see what other people are doing. CMT Support Group South Florida. Pam started this one. This is for us. So if you're a Facebook person, try friending this. This is our group, and we kick around stuff. Hey, what kind of shoes are you wearing? Hey, Pam said, you know what? I take a hot tub every night, and it helps me with my cramping. And these are all really kind of things that we can all information share about. And all of these are, if you're afraid of Facebook, remember that you don't have to put anything personal about you. You can just ask questions or look at other people's things. I know a lot of people are afraid of social media. I respect that, and I certainly have a finger on the pulse of that. I have a teenage son, so I get where you're going with that. But there's nothing, you're just going to post innocuous information on here that doesn't necessarily have to be personal. Here's my my email. Have any questions about anything? Email me anytime, okay? I'm going to be erasing this right now in just a second because I want to go over. We're going to brainstorm and we're going to do a few things. Before we get started, who wants to work their core and feels like that their core needs to be a little stronger? Okay, I'm going to give you a die and a disc to sit on. These are squishy discs. We use them for standing. Lee, you can give her one. Aunt June, you want to sit on one? Yeah. Okay. People stand on these because they're a little wobbly. They use these in occupational therapy, and what they'll do is they'll have people in wheelchairs sit on them because it helps with your stability. It's unstable. So when you're sitting on something unstable, it's going to force your body to fight. So go ahead and sit on this while we're talking. Who has weak hands and wants to work their hands a little bit? So while we're talking, I'm going to give you one of these. This is Theraputty. Who's ever used Theraputty? Anne Marie's going to hand them out.
Mom, don't use these.
These two are no good? Okay. Yeah, so Anne Marie's going to hand out Theraputty. Now Theraputty. Okay. Theraputty comes in different colors, and they go from, the colors tell you how thick and viscous the Theraputty is. And Theraputty is used a lot with kids. It's used a lot in occupational therapy. And what you do is I have Anne Marie squeeze it while she's watching TV. You can put your hand on the table, put the putty on, and try to separate your fingers in the putty. Okay, in occupational therapy, they'll put little beads or something inside the putty, and your job is to open it up and pick them out, just to give yourself something to do. So while I'm talking, just give her all this putty to squeeze and play with, and give one to somebody else, Anne. Some of them are harder than others. Okay, he wants to try one.